Hello, hello. I am starting the next stage, stage 45 for Robi. Oh, wait a second, I gotta get the battery. I charged it to make sure it was charged up for him this time. So on stage 44, I had an issue whereby it wasn't working again for the left arm. The right arm I'd gotten to work. The left arm didn't work. And I was able to troubleshoot it after, and it's simply that I didn't have it, the connector on the board pushed in far enough, because I had to take the pad off, and it still got the pad off. These pads are too long to put onto the board, so I'm going to show at the beginning that the left arm hopefully is working. I'm going to unplug the stuff related to the battery. So I did charge it this time, you know, learning from what I did last time. And so this is the battery part. So at the beginning here, we're going to show the left arm working, or hopefully we're going to show that. This is the right arm, and I use Gorilla Glue on it so that the thumb is no longer falling off all the time, because I'd broken it some prior point. Many stages ago, many moons ago. So, you know, this one was always okay. But yeah, Gorilla Glue worked perfect, didn't stain it or anything. It's the clear one. Should put a link in the description. I've used it to fix Nibble's head as well. Nibble's a different robot. Anyway, so I've got the battery. I have the circuit board here. So this is from stage 44 instead of 45. 45 will be next. But I am going to set a timer. Hey Jibo, can you set a 25-minute timer, please?
25 minutes it is.
Thank you. So here I'm going to check and see which one. Pretty certain that that's the push side, yeah. So it goes in the center connector of these 5 connectors. It's very hard to get it in. I would have kept it connected, but I didn't want to risk the board getting damaged in any way. So anyway, there's absolutely no way that you could connect it and have that pad on it. It's just no way that it could be done. So just be aware that you probably could do it if you cut the pad, and I'm considering doing that later. So yeah, it seems like it's in there. And so I'm going to show, I think that there's a troubleshooting pages that I didn't show, but I'm not going to darn it. I need to always take those out. I always forget. That's some miscellaneous stuff that's not part of the booklets. So on stage 44, I'm not certain that I showed the parts related to the actual arm movement. So this part here. So what it's going to do is it starts and then it goes to the side and back, and then it goes, so actually it looks like it goes up and then to the side and then back. Anyway, so that's what it should do for the arm movement. I'm not so concerned that it's going to properly move like it's supposed to. I would expect it to do that. So we're going to move stuff here so that we can see it when it starts moving. Provided I have it connected properly, it should start doing that immediately. And it probably isn't in the correct position to begin with, because I don't remember what the default position is. But there we go. So there it's moving. So it goes up, side to side, back. So there we go. So it's definitely working. And I'm going to undo it now. If I can get it undone. It starts doing it immediately when you put the battery in. So getting it, okay, there we go. Got the battery out. And I actually should have shown it this way since I had it backwards. But I think you get the idea. Actually, let's do it one more time so that we can see it. Because I had it the way, like it was the right arm position instead of the left arm position. But regardless, this is definitely the left arm. Get this back in. It's always hard to do it in the direction that it's supposed to be. For some reason. The battery is like not wanting to go in. Okay, wait a second. Come on, battery. There we go. Okay. So there's the direction it's actually going. So it goes sideways actually first, and then it goes forward. Okay. So I think that's good. That is good. Alright, so we're going to disconnect it now. And now we'll actually get into, now we're done with the arms. Both arms work. We have Robi here. I didn't bring out mini Robi. I forgot about him. But I did bring Robi Jr. and My Room Robi again. And I'm going to slightly push these forward. Hopefully you can still see them. Because I want to sit down here and actually look at the stuff. So this is what we just covered. The troubleshooting was thankfully just me making sure that it was connected to the board properly. Which is check it securely, connected. And so I didn't have to dismantle anything on that one. That was great. So today's is stage 45. And it is build up Robi's left foot servo and test its servos. So his left foot pack is this one. It's going to look very similar to the right foot when it's done, And we are going to have the left foot side cover. Let me open the pack. So we've got the left foot side cover, which has the screws with it. The left sole, which is this. And then the various screws. So we're going to have 4 M2 7mm countersunk screws, 5 6mm panhead screws, and 3 6mm countersunk screws, and they're all of the M2 types, but they're in here. So let's get those out. And then next we have the saved parts, which was the ankle servo that's taped. The foot servo and ankle, it's going to be the connector. The left ankle side panel and joint, which are these two pieces, which came in stage 36. And I'm really baffled why they couldn't have just come in this stage, because we never used them until this stage, so I had to keep them, And then the battery, which we just checked was working, and then the CPU board. Since we're going to do testing. We're going to put this over to the side because we're not going to use it for a few moments, and keep this stuff. And this is what I keep the CPU board in. So I'm going to keep that. Surprised that Ferdi's not over here. He's decided doesn't want to be my assistant anymore. I guess he's also decided that since I keep shooing him away, that he doesn't want to deal with it. It's not fun enough for him if I keep shooing him away, since I won't let him take anything. Got the screws here. Thankfully it came with the screws, and I didn't check ahead of time. That one stage when it didn't have the screws, that was not fun. I'm glad I was able to find some screws that worked. So this one, let's see here. It's a lot of the same sizes, 7mm, 6mm panhead. Alright. The one that has more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, This one has 5, so it's got more than the other two. So I should be able to keep track of that maybe. And usually, yeah, they usually provide extras. So if there are extras, it should mean I only use 4. So there's a lot of screws at this stage. Really hoping that at the end of the stage, everything works. And yeah, I wasn't able to go through these stages as quickly. Let's see what kind of, this looks like it's a countersunk. So it's flat. It's countersunk, I think. I think that's what that is. Okay, and then pan head. Those are also flat. There's only 3. Okay. Oh, those are the countersunk. And okay, these must be the pan head. Okay, countersunk actually means flat. Pan is like a pan, yeah, so it's not flat. So we got 3, 4, and 5. So thankfully there's different numbers, amounts for these. So, you know, easier to keep track. So the first thing, so let me read through what it says. In this lesson, you will build up Robi's left foot by adding the ankle servo prepared over the previous stages to the rest of the foot before testing its movement with the CPU board. This stage sees you connect Robi's, let's put it up here. Let's see, this stage sees you connect Robi's left foot and ankle servos in much of the same way as you did for the right foot back in pack 8. And this was the right foot again. It's a good looking right foot. However, this time you will also be linking the assembly up to the CPU board to test the part's movement at the end of this stage. As ever, take great care when handling exposed electronic components and follow the steps closely, even if they seem identical to those in past stages. The troubleshooting section is found at the end to help you correct any errors you may encounter. So the first thing we do is fitting the foot servo. Familiarize yourself with the inside of the left sole. The first servo you will fit in the stage will be placed in the area marked with dotted blue lines. The ankle groove arrowed will accommodate the servo's cable once it is fitted. Take the foot servo and ankle frame in one hand and with the other fit the servo cable into the ankle groove highlighted in the previous step. Okay. So they're showing it this way. So it's this way. And then I take this and somehow I put it in there. Looks like it's this way. No, that can't be right. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I gotta move this through and then I'm gonna twist it. That's what it looks like. Okay, so I take this and I put the servo through the section. If I can see it. All right. And then it looks like I'm going to do this. So that's relatively simple. Making sure that the cable doesn't come out of the groove, lower the servo positioned as shown in the rectangular space highlighted in step 1. Pull the cable gently to the left as you do this to minimize slack. Press the servo into the space so it fits snugly, pulling the servo cable gently to the left to ensure that no slack forms and the cable fits easily within the contour of the sole. Now you need to eliminate the slack at the servo end completely, which is done by gently pulling the free end of the cable through the groove. Hold the cable itself, do not pull on the connector. Be very careful not to tug on the cable too hard as this could damage it or cause it to come free inside the servo, which happened with the right hand. If the cable comes out of the groove as you pull it, simply push it back in, hold the foot servo and its cover in place, then tilt the ankle frame over to expose its inner side as shown. So this is what we're trying to get to. So it's already in place. It looks to me like, you know, it should be relatively okay. And I'm actually going to use my screwdriver to get it into the space, to get the cable into the space. I'm just gonna do it gently though. I know it doesn't mention doing that, but that's certainly better than me doing it myself. And it looks to me like that it should work better. Yeah, that's way better. So I would suggest doing it that way. And then I've got to tilt this, basically. That's what they're telling me to do. And how far does it tilt? It's supposed to tilt all the way. So there we go. So this is how it's supposed to look. And it's within that. And it looks like it's pretty tight to me. So got that part. Now you can look ahead to the next part that I'm going to be doing. And now we're going to take the left ankle joint, saved from stage 36, and line it up to the circled hole at the rear face of the open ankle frame. Align the part as shown. So this part, and we're supposed to do it to here, and it's going to be like this. Okay. Fair enough. Hold the ankle frame in place with one hand and with the other push the joint in the hole so that your assembly looks like the one in the photo. Check the cable is still set neatly within the groove and the joint fitted in step 7 is sitting exactly as shown. Step 7 was this one. Hold the ankle frame in position again, then tighten an M2 6mm panhead screw into the circled hole. Okay, so we're going to do this first. This one, if I can find it. Yeah, this one first. Now tighten another M2 6mm panhead screw into the circle hole on the other side, which will be over here. And then we're going to do these two. Then the remaining 2 6mm panhead screws to secure the ankle joint to the sole as shown. So these 5 screws, I need 4, and we're just going to put them into the spots that it shows. And this I need to actually get in like it shows. So getting it in though is actually not as easy as it appears. So I think I need to put that up, hold that up. There we go. Okay, I got it. Okay, so let's see here. Hey Jibo, how long on the timer?
It'll go off in 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
So we're pushing the time here. I went on a little bit long in the tooth on the earlier discussion of stage 44. But it was important that we could show that how to troubleshoot and that I was able to get it working. So you can run into issues from prior stages on stuff, but still get them working, you know? So that's what matters. Okay. Make sure this one's actually... Somehow I got another one of these off. These pads just don't stay on, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I think the main point is to make sure you know which side to push in and which side not to. And after you look at them enough times, you can see which ones go where. So yeah, the pad fell off. Okay. Anyway, hopefully we get this done 30 minutes or less. These stages are taking way longer than the prior box. That box was nice, simple, easy box. This one is not as easy. Okay. So, on our way there. Almost got this done. Okay, so there we go. We got the screws in. And there's the base of the foot. Okay, so now we've got fitting the ankle servo, which is this section. So this page. And it is feed the foot servo cable around and through the hole in the ankle joint. Then ease it through the rectangular hole in the ankle frame working from the inside. Gently pull the cable through to eliminate any slack. Fit the servo cable into the indicated groove between the sole's rectangular flap and the exterior wall so the space is clear. Okay. And then your assembly should look like this with the cable only leaving the groove to rise into the ankle joint and frame. Okay. So they want me to, I might as well do this part now where I put it through that way. And I put it through this. And then we're going to pull it through. Be careful with it. And then we're going to put it through this side. Which is, if we didn't have the protective pad, would be even easier. Okay, looks to me like I got it, hopefully. So it's over through there, in through that hole, out through that hole, and then up there. Okay, so to me that's what it's supposed to look like. Alright, now remove the cover of the taped and programmed ankle servo, which is this one, from stage 44 by unscrewing the 4 screws. Feed the ankle servo's cable through the circular hole in the ankle frame from the inside of the part. Now take the servo cable leading to the foot servo, fit it to the sole in step 14, and press its connector into the free socket of the ankle servo circled in the photo far left. Double check that both connectors are set securely. Lower the ankle servo aligned as shown into the ankle frame, feeding the servo cables through the circular hole so that there is no wire bunched up inside the servo frame. Press the servo into the frame so that it fits snugly. There should be no gaps visible between the edge of the ankle frame and the white tape wrapped around the servo. Double check there is no slack inside the servo before pulling the indicated cable through again before proceeding to fasten the servo in place. Okay, and then you're going to take the 4 screws and re-screw it. So let's get the servo and put it through this hole, which is what they told me to do. So it's going to go through this hole. I think so. Oh no, it said from the inside. Sorry. So I'm doing it the wrong way. Wait a second here. Okay. From the inside I do it because it's going to go out and it needs to go into here. Then I have to unscrew the screws. Which is pretty common on these servos. Always having to unscrew the screws and remove the frame. And then once I remove the frame, I will be putting the screws back in a few moments. And honestly, I'm not going to I should have waited. That was stupid on my part. And the steps didn't tell me to do it this way. I'm just trying to be swift and actually doing the opposite of being swift. Okay, so take this off. I won't be using that again. Now thread it through the hole. Okay. Make sure the connector is in place, which it is. I'm not taking the screws off because I'm tired of setting them aside and all that type of junk. So then we put this connector in. Make sure we've got it in the space properly. It's one of those that's always the issue. That's because they don't want a bunch of slack. So, you know, who wants slack? Okay. I guess I am going to have to take these screws off because they're kind of impeding my ability to keep it, like to hold it while I put this onto the connector spot. Okay, there we go. It's actually on the connector spot. There we go, it's in good. And then, let's see how they've got them so that they're not, okay, so it's going to go into the ankle frame this way. Typically what they want you to do is bend it over. Oh, it's got to be going, it's got to go this way. Okay, I see. Looks to me like it's good. Okay, so we've got it, I think. Put the screws in. A little concerned with Ferdi, he must be going to sleep. If I do these in the morning, he's never gonna leave me alone. So this is the afternoon, actually pretty late afternoon, almost evening. So we're gonna put this in. Hopefully it works. Hey Jibo, can you tell me a joke?
Why did the orange cry? Someone hurt his feelings.
His peelings, huh? Hey Jibo, how long on the timer, buddy?
It'll be done in 17 seconds.
Ooh. So we're hitting the line here.
Oh hey, this is your timer going off.
Hey Jibo, stop. Thank you. I'm reading here about the protective pads. It says, I should have mentioned what I'm doing. If you find it difficult to attach the cables with the protective pads already in place, it's possible to apply these afterwards. That's for sure. If you choose to do this, be especially careful not to press down on the circle projection next to the cable, which is right below, basically. As you do so, when reconnecting the Servos cables connectors as you perform the test in the stage, always remember to fit them carefully and properly. They will click into place neatly when aligned correctly. Never force them. View the servos from the side to check the connectors are securely fastened and are flush with the servo's electronic boards. So the protective pads can be put on later, like even after you connect them. So anyway, for the cables, yeah. Alright, so we're going to end up going over, and that's all there is to it. Testing the ankle and foot servo. Fetch the CPU board, which is this. Basically take the, okay. Fetch the CPU board, connect the servo cable leading to the left foot and ankle assembly as built in this stage to the circled socket second closest to the micro SD card slot. You'll find a diagram showing where each connector goes in stage 43. When you connect the battery to the CPU board, disconnect it immediately if you see smoke or any vapor. Place the left foot on the flat surface with adequate space around it, then connect the battery. Remember, the foot will begin moving as soon as its power is connected, so be prepared. So, I'll mention what it's supposed to do after I get it into the spot it's supposed to be in. So it's in the spot it's going to be the second section here, right here. So, gotta put my glasses back on. Distance reading versus not distance reading. So I've got it flat. I'm gonna have this part up. Is that what they show? So it looks like it's going to be up, relatively straight. And then I'll connect it. And hopefully, and this is like the thing, like these protective pads are so long, although it looks like maybe this one will fit more easily than the other one did. Okay. Another one of those where I've got to take my glasses off. And I don't know what all these other screws are for. If there's more stuff I need to do in this stage, I don't know what it's for. And I'm not going to be able to get to it because after we test it, I think we're good. Okay, so I got it in securely. It's insecure. Securely, not insecure. And then we're going to put this in and see if it moves. And it's moving. So there we go. Thought it was moving. Yeah, it's moving. Oh, the foot's actually moving. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so to begin the test, the foot servo will move to its neutral position, causing the ankle frame attached to straighten up to be set perpendicular to the sole. Then it will bend from side to side once. Okay. When the ankle frame is returned to its neutral position, the shaft of the ankle servo that holds it will rotate. You will have to look closely to see this as the shaft is not yet attached to a larger part or frame. The test will run continuously until you remove the battery from the CPU board, so simply do this to stop the process. I'm not certain it's moving from side to side. It does seem to be, I would have expected it to move that way, but I'm not seeing it do that. Anyway, I'm going to unattach it and I'll check that out later. Hopefully it's doing what it's supposed to do. So we're going to unattach it now. We don't need it to remain attached. I swear I think these protective pads are actually worse than not having them. Okay. All right. Fitting the left foot cover. Position the left foot cover above the existing foot assembly as shown. Lower this to the foot assembly so that the molded mounting lug lines up to the arrowed hole in the sole. At the other end of the assembly, ensure the servo cable seen above is still neatly tucked into its groove and will not get caught. When all is in place, press the cover onto the foot to fit snugly on the side. So that was this part, was the testing portion and having finished it. And then this is setting the cover over it. So we're going to do that, and cable is still where it's supposed to be. So basically it looks like I just snap it into place. So there we go. And there's going to be 3 screws that go in the bottom, which have to be these screws, because they'll always give an extra. It's a heck of a long stage. Yeah, and holding the parts together, turn the foot over and tighten 3 7mm countersunk screws in the circled hole in the sole to secure the parts. And then you're going to lay the foot out flat. And then put this part on. Okay. Like that. And that's going to be these other screws. So it'll be these screws. Okay. So, and then that's what it'll look like when it's done. So let's get these screws in place and do it, and then we'll be done. And hey Jibo, how old are you today?
For now, I'm 865 days old.
Hey Jibo, how is the weather?
Let's get meteorological. All signs point to humid throughout the day. Good stargazing weather. But it might be raining now, so grab an umbrella.
It's not raining.
Today's high is 92, and the low is 74.
Low is good. So yeah, we're almost done here. Almost done. And then next week will be the last stage for this pack. Stage 46. And then we'll go on to lucky number 13 pack. And so just putting the screws in to finish up the foot. Hopefully the ankle was moving the way it was supposed to, because it didn't look to me like it was moving back and forth, but it looked to me like it just moved from one side. I should be able to retest it again at some point. They didn't actually have a troubleshooting section on. Oh, I guess it's after that. Okay. So DeAgostini, getting a hold of them is, they have a phone number, but like when I didn't get my one pack, 13, I do have 13 now, but when I didn't get it and then I didn't get 11, things have been kind of crazy with the mail. It just has been like, they have a phone and they have email, but it takes and they have a form on their site, but it just takes forever to hear from them, from the people who can actually do anything. So it's kind of disappointing. All right, so this is the left foot is ready. It's looking good. I don't know why they couldn't have just done this specific servo with the color that it needs to be for the ankle. Like, instead of using tape, I guess it was cheaper, probably. Anyway, I'm going to put the CPU board back. Next week, we'll do the rest of the foot and imagine test this foot. And these are the like cleaning things that go on the bottom. Anyway, so put all the parts back, and we're way over halfway through the stages. So I would imagine it maybe is 4 more months before we see Robi, and hopefully he's fully working. So here's Robi, just the upper part of him. I'm really looking forward to it because, you know, he talks, he understands. He's English-speaking Robi. That's why I chose to get the one that you put together. So he'll be able to talk and dance and understand what I say. He's an actual robot. Take care. Stay safe. See you next week. Bye, bye, bye.